All right, what is repetition on lists? Let us have a list. This one is going to have 1, 2, 3, and list 1 times 4. As you see here, the elements in list 1 have been repeated 4 times. This is nothing but repetition, and if you want to store this in another list. So list 1 times, I want to repeat this just for 2 times. Now I can go and check what is there in list 2, which is nothing but the same list 1 repeated for twice. Okay, so this is about repetition, right? Now the next one is to understand how to traverse ourselves through the list. For that, you can use for loop and E, anything. You can use X, Y, Z or anything. E as an element is what I'm using here. In list 1, I want to print E here. Okay. As you see here, it has traversed through each and every element within list 1 and it could print it, right? So I already covered how to print the elements of a list, right? It just prints all the elements in the list. And if you use a for loop for traversal, you can filter out the data. Say, for example, I want only odd numbers. How can I do that? For in list 1, you can have a condition. If E mod 2 is equal to 1, means it is an odd number. Then only print E, right? You see, you get only 1 and 3 which are odd numbers. This is how, if you know how to traverse through a list using a for loop, right? You can filter out the data or you can manipulate the data. All these things you can perform on your own. Okay, this is how you can use traversal, and you can use for loop to traverse through a list. Okay, so there are multiple use cases where you loop through the list using for loop, and you will probably sort of, for example, there is a list. So list 1 has some numbers. Okay. Now I want to just segregate these into two lists. One list having all the odd numbers and the other list having all the even numbers. How can I do that? For that, you can start with empty list, odds, evens, tens, right? Now you can start looping through list 1. For in list 1, if E modulo 2 is equal to 1, where should it go? You should get into odds. But how do I add to odds? Add, for that you need to use append. Append is a method. Append, what to append? E. Else, to which you want to append, to which list you want to append. You have to append it to events, right? So events dot append the same element. We are done. Now let us see what is there in odds. You see all the odd numbers have come in. You see all the even numbers have gone into a different list. So this is what you can achieve if you know how to traverse through a list. Okay. If you know how to traverse through the list, using for loop, you can filter out the data, you can put the data separately, and you can do whatever operations you want to perform. Okay, and there are different types of use cases as well. Say, for example, you want to, it is a mixed list basically. You have some integers, you have some floats, you have some strings, you also have some booleans, and you want to filter out that data into different lists based on the type of data. Okay, that is also possible if you know how to traverse to the list, right? All right. So I hope you got an idea. Okay, and the condition can be anything, right? The condition can be anything, but you can just go through this example and you can apply this same thought process in any situation where you have to explicitly examine each and every element in the list and you take a decision whether or not you want to process that or whether or not you want to put it in a specific list or whatever it is, right? Can you like that? I want to find the sum of only odd numbers within this list. Of course, you have to traverse on your own, and then you can um, check if the current element is odd, then only you can add it to sum. Then you need to take some variable initialize to zero, so on and so forth. These are the use cases using which you can traverse through the list and you can decide what to do with this current element. All right, with that, we have completed traversing using loop. The next one is to traverse through list using index. How do we traverse through list using index? Again, if I look at list one, currently it has all these elements. And what if I have to go traverse through this list using the index, right? For that, I can use, so I have to use again for loop only, and I can use index in something like this range. Okay, range starts from 0. You needed explicitly mention 0, but that's okay. And now you can mention where to go up to excluding the last index plus 1, which is nothing but length of list 1, right? Okay, what to do? So how do you access an element? So what you can do here is you can print list 1 of, you see all these elements have been now processed using this index loop. Okay, and just to show you, uh, 0 is optional as I said, so you can directly use length of list 1. Okay, you can just print. If you want, you can print index as well as the element within that index. Okay, I'm showing you that. So you can print II, you can also print this. So you see, 0th index you have a value 1. First index you have element 2. Second index you have element 3. This is how the first column represents the indices and the second column represents the element stored at that index. All right. So this is how you can traverse through a list using index loop. All right. The next one is append that I have already covered here. Let me go to append. So what if I start with some empty list and I want to keep adding the elements? This is where I have covered the append. And not only that, you may have some elements in the list, but still you want to go on to want to add more and more elements to that. Yes, of course. You can use list one dot append, just like how we have used this one in empty list to begin with. Doesn't matter. You can keep adding more and more elements to a list using append method. That is all about append method. The next one is nested lists. Interestingly, what are nested lists? So I have this one. As I told you, you can have some elements as integers, some of them as floats, some of them as strings, and some of them as booleans, right? As I said, if you print this, you will get this. All right now, that means list can have its elements belonging to different types. If that is the case, I want to construct a list by having list one as element. List one is already of type list. So can a list be member of another list? Of course, yes. Now if you print list 2, how does it look like? This is how it looks like. 1 and 2, the elements of this list is perfect. And then list one means all these things will come. But this is all one entire element with respect to list 2, or to see it as a single element. So all these things have been enclosed within square brackets. Okay, so a list can have another list as element, and you can have a list of lists. This is nothing but list of lists. List 2 is list of lists. Okay, it has another list. So you can also have list 3 is equal to, see, look at this. What is what I am doing here? I am creating lists on the fly. Well, what if I go and ask what is list 3? List 3 is list of lists. Okay, it has 10. Again, what is 10 here? List 10 is a list within list 3. 1, 2, 3 is another list within list 3. This is how it continues to happen. And can I add, which is nothing but append, an integer to this? Well, you can. Now ask for list 3. Yes, this is how list 3 appears to be. And 99 is what you have appended very recently, goes and sits after the already existing elements within this ordered list. This is how. Now what is list 3? List 3 is a list of lists. It's not just list of lists, but also it has an integer as an element. Okay, so these are all examples of lists of lists. Where do we use these lists of lists, right? So if you have to use that's the very first example that we have started this session with. You want to store the marks of students. Yes, you want to store the marks of 50 students who are in a class, right? For that, you will say marks of one. It is from, these are the marks from one class. What if you want to store the marks of second class? Maybe you can create another list like this. Of course, I'm not giving the marks, but I'm just creating some empty lists for now, just to explain you the concept. And there is one more class, and you get all the marks of those students within this marks 3 list recorded. What if I want to maintain the marks of the school? That school has 3 classes, right? Then I can say school marks. Okay, already marks 1 is a list of all the marks of class 1. Then marks 2, which is another list of all the marks of students who belong to class 2, and marks for class 3. This is how you can create. Sorry, there is a typo in school, but pardon me. It should be SCHOOL underscore marks. But anyways, this is how practically you can visualize how a list of lists or nested lists are helpful for you to handle such situations where you want to have a list as element of another list. Make sense? All right. With that said, we have completed nested lists, but interestingly, let me show you this list 3 has all these elements. No, now what if I ask for how to access this 10 list 3? It is at index 0. When I ask for list 3 of at index 0, what is there? It gives me a list. Interesting, no? And if you ask for what is there at index 1, it gives you this, right? List, sorry, it's the list 3. Sorry, list 3 of 1. It should give you that entire list. Yes, this is entire list that is at index 0, sorry, index 1 of list 3. So list 3 of 1, when you ask for, it gives you 1, 2, 3. Then how do I access this 2 from this? First of all, what is this entirely? It is list 3 of 1. So list 3 of 1, right? List 3 of 1 gives you this entire thing. And within that, what if I ask for 1 again? This is how you'll be getting. So up to this, you know very well. What does this give you? List 3 of 1. This one. What does it give you? What does this give you? I have already printed it here for you. It gives you this entire 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3 is a list. Within this list, I am asking for a very first element. This is 0th element. These are all indices, remember. 0th index, first index. So at first index, you have 2, and that's what you see there. What if I ask for list 3 of 1 or 2? So we should be inside. Yeah. Within list 3, go to the first index element, which is nothing but this entire list. Within that, give me the second index element 0, 1, 2, which is nothing but. And here also, you may exceed the index and give some bad index or index out of range. I may ask for fifth element. Practically, there is nothing. There is no fifth element within this entire list. So in such situations also you'll be getting this index error, right? And what if I ask for list 3 of -1 negative index? It should give me the last element, very last element, which is nothing but a single integer, which is 99. What if I ask for list 3 of -2? They should give me this entire list, right? This is an entire list, right? And within this list 3 of -2, within this minus, which is nothing but 55. Within this entire list, I'm asking for the last element, which is 50. This is how, whenever there is a nesting of lists that happens, you need to just use multiple levels of indices. Okay, and one of those indices can be positive, one of them can be negative. Of course, no harm with it. I'm asking for -2, which just gives me sorry, list 2. Yeah, and I'm asking for first index. Yes, quite possibly. 0th index, first index, which is nothing but 22, and this is what you see here. All right. With that said, we have completed nested lists. The next one is different algorithms that we can apply on lists. And as I said, of course, you want to find the minimum, you want to find the maximum, you want to find sum of elements. All those things are quite possible. However, you can use built-in methods for that, built-in functions. But if the interviewer is not allowing you to use any such built-in functions or the methods, then how do you do that? That is where the traversing comes into picture first. Okay, and then you need to just apply whatever the logic is asked for, and you need to write the code on your own. So you may want to find the sum of all the elements in a list on your own, right? You may want to find the minimum element, you may find the maximum element, you may want to find the average of a list. Okay, these are all different algorithms that you can apply. You may also do something to search if an element is present or not, which is nothing but the member of operator does the same. So what if I, for example, I just say list 5 is equal to, I'm going to give some numbers. Okay, I have these elements. How do I know whether a given element, for example, 22 is present in this or not? Okay, for that, um, you definitely have to use for loop, right? But you need to have an indicator also. Okay, did you find 22 yet? No, right? Because you just started searching for it. So initially have false stored in found, and now we can traverse through. You may go through anything. You may go through element based traversing, or you may go through index based traversing. Okay, what is it I need to check? If E is equal to 22, then we found the element, no? We found it 22. So found equal to true, and then is there any need to continue your search with the rest of the elements? No, you found the element, right? That's all. So how do you quit from the loop? Break. Okay, and then but how do I decide whether I found the element or not? Once you complete the traversing or once you come out of that loop, you have to check if you found is still you have a holding a value false. Then what can you do? Oh, sorry, the found is equal to false. I just typed it in twice. That's why it is saying this. Okay, just to make it simple and save time, I'm going to put this in a file. Okay, now print it is false. That means element not found. Else print element found. All right, let me save this. Each one programs. Python programs. Program just request just program. All right, now let me run this. So practically 22 is not present here, so I should get a message that element not found. Element not found. You see here, element not found. And I'll just tweak this. I want to check if 56 is available or not. So just change this here, and then you can run this. Should this time say element found. This is how you can check whether the given element is present in the list or not. Okay, and if the interviewer allows you to allow the existing functions, you can use count, as I said. So how do you do that? If list 5, you want to search within list 5. Count, what is it you are looking for? Maybe 56. If this count is greater than 0, okay, you can say element found. Else it has to count this. Element, element not found. See, count will return you the count of the element within that list, right? If the count is greater than 0, that means you found the element. Otherwise, if the count is equal to 0, then element not found. That's found. See, the element found because 56 is present in list 5. If you put 55 or something here, you will get this message, right? Here you have used the built-in method which is count. If the internet doesn't allow you to do this, then you have to write your own logic, and you have to just compare it just like what I have done here. That is where in such situations you also need to know how to traverse through the list on your own. All right. So algorithms analysis are nothing but finding the minimum, finding the maximum, finding the sum, all those things. What are the methods I have explained? You should be in a position to write the logic on your own without using those built-in functions. All right. With this, we can conclude today's session. Before I conclude, I just want to quickly show you the website. Please visit this website and you can go to courses and you can understand what are all the courses that we offer, right? These are all the courses that we offer, and you can get in touch with us if you are interested in different means of these social media platforms, or you can call us, you can WhatsApp us, you can mail us, and more interestingly, this is a place or this is a web page where you can download all these resources if you have missed the earlier ones, earlier sessions, and this is a page that you need to watch always. And by the end of this session, session 9 material will also be uploaded here and it will be available for you to download. You can download that material and make use of it and practice more and more and become more confident programmer. And the next live session, its a time and the date will be updated here on this page very soon. So keep an eye on this page and make sure you visit this page every now and then so that you will get the updates from us. The other one I wanted to talk about is the channel. Okay, so this is a YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. And we have multiple playlists that are available. And every day we'll be posting quizzes. And just not to lose the confidence on the subject, by practicing these quizzes, we'll be in touch with the topics. And this is the way to keep all the things that we are discussing during these sessions up to date, and this is just a means of being in consistent touch with the topics that we have been discussing so that you don't lose confidence. All right, I would suggest to subscribe to these and any other platforms like LinkedIn. Okay, whatever platforms that you really like and where you have already registered for personally. Though on those platforms, you can follow us, you can like us, and subscribe accordingly. All right, with that said, I'm going to conclude the session today, and thanks for your time and happy coding. Take care. Bye.